All in all, I did say I was going to make the COT data video for tomorrow, but it just frees me up. It's one less thing to do on a Monday. And also we got the bulletin as well. So it's slightly busy when I have to do the bulletin and the COT data on Monday. So I figured today we'll just make the COT data for Sunday. Also, I want to test this new mic software as well. I've got some new drivers for it, so it might sound better. I'm not sure. So it's like a live test, and also want to get this COT data video done as well. So here's the Euro FX US dollar index cross, which we had the big heads up about, and so there's the sell signal there. And so we are negative on the euro, slightly less negative than the week prior. We'll add the yen. And like you could probably argue we've got a cross, but I wouldn't see this as a valid signal because they're both moving higher. If the euro was moving down, then yes, we'd get euro yen. But currently not, because they're both moving up. They're both moving higher, so there's no signal derived from that cross. In fact, this whole video, there isn't that much to say. Perhaps an eye on gold. So let's look at gold quickly. Now we had a big surge of 92,000 up to 142,000. Big interest in gold from the banks and institutions. We are positive, no, and I don't know whether or not what we're going to see on Friday, because this data is from Tuesday, and if you remember, the CPI was on Wednesday, and so this doesn't reflect the CPI that we had. And if you remember, the inflation had cooled, which was a nice surprise, and so obviously it's got a direct consequence on gold because it's linked to inflation, like all commodities. So this may tick down on Friday, and if it does, then it looks like it's going to resume this downtrend. And this is like a dead cat bounce, where this is actually not a legit bounce. It's potentially going to be selling off. It all depends on Friday. And we're going to possibly get an inverted head and shoulders here. So that might be bullish. You see, we're making a left shoulder, potential right shoulder here. And that could be quite bullish. And then we could be making a big V. So be careful with gold. And also keep an eye on the retail sentiment, obviously, as well. And we'll take gold off. And then we'll take the euro off. We'll look at the pound. And, the British pound, it went up, but we are negative like the euro, so there isn't anything to be said there. There's no signal derived from that. Take off the pound. We'll look at the Aussie and Aussie yen. So AJ is actually a short, but however, we need to have an eye on the fundamentals. We know we're risk on if we look at our spreadsheet. So an AJ short wouldn't necessarily be like an amazing idea. Even though the COT data signals a sell, we have to remember the big picture and that we are risk on. VIX is probably going to get to 18 this week. We broke below 20. And if the VIX is going to get hammered, it's going to be risk on. So be careful here. From a COT perspective, AJ short, but do keep an eye on your fundamentals. That's really, really important. The risk on, risk off calculation. There are nearly minus 10 SSI on our daily bulletin. So if you want to get access to the daily bulletin, just go to patreon.com/QuasiDB, and it says $10 a month, and you can see delivered to your inbox the risk calculation every day, and you'll see how they're making it worse for themselves by they're adding to their losing trades, and it's going to be an extermination of the bears, sadly. So be careful here. From a COT perspective, sell, but fundamentally, no, unless some risk event news, this news event, emerges. So take Aussie off, and we'll look at CAD. I think CAD would be strong. Yeah, it is. We are positive, and it's more positive. So what we want to do is confirmation over time. Where are we now, and where are we going? Potentially, we're going to get a dollar CAD short, maybe. Potentially, but it'll take a few weeks for that to happen. And we'll take CAD off, and then we'll look at New Zealand dollar. So we're contained within that support and that resistance. we're possibly going to be contained within that range. If we break above that high, then we're going to have that as a hurdle as well. So we're just negative, but we're looking like we're going to break above the 0 line, which would be bullish for the Kiwi. And last but not least, we'll look at Swiss franc, and then we'll wrap up. Yeah, sideways. It's really pretty much, isn't it? It's just not really moving much at all. So that's that, and there's no signal there. Potentially a Swiss yen short, but you know, we'd need that to tick down and that to continue higher. So I welcome everyone to the QuasiDB service. All the new subscribers, you're most welcome. And any new people, there's no limitation to the seats. If you want to join, that's fine. Do note, if you join, you pay on the date that you signed up and then on the 1st of the month. So if you signed up on the 25th, you'd pay again on the 1st. So it's getting to that point where you might want to wait till September in order to, maximize your, the money that you've invested into the service. I mean, you can join now, but then you pay again on the 1st. So it's something to bear in mind. It's better to join at the beginning of the month, and then you've got a whole month, and then you get billed again on October, and then November 1st, and then December 1st, and that's how it works. So that's Patreon for you. And also, don't forget to get a Discord account. And ideally, you want to create a Patreon account as well prior to signing up, just because you want things to be pretty seamless and quite straightforward. So enjoy your Sunday. Hope the mic wasn't too bad and you could hear me. And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow for the bulletin, and have a great Sunday.